For most people, it's the hardest thing they'll ever do, you know. And for me, I remember my first capoeira class I took. That next morning, I could barely get out of bed, and that's usually kind of the sign if you'll go back or not, because you start using a lot of muscles that you realize you never knew you had.
It's a place for me to find community of friends that think the same. And besides that, it's just a place for me to vent from the day and be able to just balance myself out.
I love it because it gives me flexibility and it's improving my strength. It keeps me in shape now that I'm not playing soccer. And you know, I get to meet great people and smart and intelligent people, and we all get to learn and grow while learning capoeira.
Capoeira is said to be initiated, or it comes from an old art form called Danca Astuta that came out of Africa. And when it migrated to Brazil, it came in touch with a lot of different cultures from Africa through the slave trade, through other slaves, and through the indigenous people there, and it evolved into capoeira, what we know today. The traditional capoeira that comes out of Africa is said to be capoeira Angola, which still exists. I'm sure it's changed a bit since that time, but capoeira regional, which was born out of Angola, was the style of Mr. Bimba, who less than 100 years ago created, and it was Mr. Bimba who opened the first Capoeira Academy in the early 1930s, which kind of gave capoeira the respect from people in its community, from the nation of Brazil, as a legitimate art form. You know, before that time, people were getting arrested for doing capoeira. It was thought as something that was done by the lower class, by slaves, by indigenous people, or actually free slaves. It wasn't long before that time that he opened the academy that slavery was abolished. I think it was 1888 in Brazil. And soon after that, all of the documents regarding capoeira, regarding slavery, were burned out of embarrassment for actual slavery taking place. So a lot of the history, as far as in Brazil, regarding capoeira, its roots and things like that, were lost. Without the music, there's no capoeira. It's fundamentally the most important outside of playing the game for capoeira, actually, that you can't have one without the other, really.
It's the heartbeat. Without it, there's no roda.
The type of music or the rhythm that's being played commands the roda, so it determines the tempo which the game can be played by, and it also determines what type of game will be played.
It keeps everyone conscious, aware of each other by listening to each other, seeing each other play.
Keep the music in mind. You always want to be aware of the rhythm and have and move to that rhythm. timbal is a curve-shaped instrument. It looks a lot like a bow and arrow with a gourd tied to the end of it. The second one, we have a drum, which is we call it atabaki in capoeira. It's a handmade drum, and it's tuned up by pounding pegs around the edges of it. And then the third instruments, we usually have two in the roda, is a pandeiro, which is, it's similar to a tambourine, but the shingles on the side are really tight. They're not so loose. So it's, without the music, there's no capoeira. My passion for it, I think it's a great tool for the community.
It's just a place for me to vent from the day and be able to just balance myself out.
It's very much more than just a martial arts. It's a way of life, and it's a beautiful, beautiful game to play.
I saw a friend in my class that plays capoeira, and we started playing capoeira together in the yard. And then we started a team, a capoeira team in our school, or a club in our school, and then that's how I met Professor Cangaceiro. He would run from his physics class just to make it for 5 minutes and play with beginners.
The beginner learns how to sway, how to move, how to jinga, how to evade, skate, do their skivas, which means to escape, instead of rather blocking or stopping. And then some basic kicks, circular kicks that keep the flow, that move well to music and stuff like that. We've got different types of game. One in particular, which is more friendly, would be the game of Benguela, which is more flowing, more play. If you're going to show, like you would rather show the person that you can sweep them, or you can take them down, or they're vulnerable to kicks. Another type of game would be samba do grande, or samba do corrido, which is really aggressive, and it's a lot of fast kicks, and your aggressive movements are with more intent, so you actually get hurt.
And when you guys feel scared, that's the best time to go in. If you're fearful, then and you stop going in, it's going to stunt your growth. I'm speaking from experience, being a little woman, playing against a lot of good athletic men and other women too. It's like, if you're scared, just go in. Because who can find the hole at the right time to get you, no matter how hard it is.
So left palm facing into the hole, right palm facing out.
No, just kidding.
1, 2, 3. That's Brazil, I
Na onda do viri